Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is February 28th. We're going to be talking some NBA DFS picks for today on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, we're going to talk about yesterday's picks and how they turned out. So on the DraftKings side, we had Derrick Rose, $5,700, looking for about 29 fantasy points out of him. He got to 42.75, so he was a major hit there. At the shooting guard position, we had Dwayne Bacon, $3,600, looking for about 18 fantasy points out of him. Got to 17.25, so that one was a slight miss. At small forward, we had Jarrett Culver, flat minimum, $3,000. He ended up with 10.75 points, so that was a miss. Thought he played a little bit more than he actually ended up doing, so that one was a little bit on my end there. But hopefully he improves in the next couple of days. Hopefully his price doesn't go up too much either. Then at power forward, we had Royce O'Neal, $4,700, looking for about 24 fantasy points out of him. And he ended up with 25.5, so he was a hit. Joel Embiid, $10,300, looking for about 52 fantasy points out of him. He got to 74.25, so that was a massive hit. So the big massive hits over there were obviously Derrick Rose and Joel Embiid. And then we'll move over to the FanDuel side where we had Darius Garland, $5,700, looking for about 29 fantasy points out of him. He got to 42.9, so that was a major hit. Shooting guard, we had Lou Dort, $4,200, had a pretty good day the day before, looking for about 21 fantasy points out of him, but he ended up with 6.2, played 21 minutes, just played like crap, honestly, so that was a pretty bad miss, honestly. Then at small forward, we had Brandon Ingram. He was $7,700, looking for about 39 fantasy points out of him. Got to 40.3, so he was definitely a hit. Then at that power forward position, we had Maxi Kleber, $3,800, looking for about 19 fantasy points out of him. He got to 19.8, so he was a hit as well. Probably could have done a little bit better if that game did not end up in a blowout. Karl Anthony Towns, $9,700, looking for about 49 fantasy points out of him. He ended up with 47.7, so he was a miss, but just a slight miss at that. But with that being said, we're going to move over to the injuries for today. So if you guys are playing the early slate, you got the Clippers and the Bucks. Patterson and Arturo are still out for the Clippers. Looks like Drew Holiday could actually be back today for Milwaukee. For the Wizards, we got Ish Smith out once again. Raul Neto is a game time decision, so keep an eye out on that one. If he doesn't play, Russell Westbrook could see some extended minutes. Somebody else is going to have to play that backup point guard. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be at this point in time. Then for the Celtics, pretty much the same as we've been looking at, except Jaylen Brown, game time decision with that knee that's been bothering him off and on this season. So if he doesn't play, could open up some value there. Definitely makes Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum a lot stronger. Then obviously, as you see here, the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors, this game has now been postponed. So I believe this is due to the COVID issues the Raptors have been dealing with. Obviously, last game, Pascal Siakam missed because of it. Most of their coaching staff missed because of it. So just keep an eye out on that going forward. Then for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's out once again. We already know that. Elfrid Payton's a game time decision. Probably unlikely that he plays once again. Keep an eye out on Derrick Rose, see how many minutes he actually plays in this game, just because he played 38 yesterday. He's not a spring chicken anymore, so maybe Emmanuel Quickley is a guy that you want to go to today. Taj Gibson's also a game time decision. The Pistons are essentially the same as they've been now. Frank Jackson is a game time decision as well, but he's barely been playing anyway, so no real changes there. Then for Memphis, the main new one is Grayson Allen's out in this game. He has a concussion, so it'll be interesting to see if they go with the lineup that they have here with DeAndre Melton starting, or if they go back to the lineup that they used at the beginning of the year with Dylan Brooks at the 2 guard, Kyle Anderson at the 3, and Brandon Clark at the 4 instead of coming off the bench. Then for the Houston Rockets, Victor Oladipo is going to miss this one. I believe he's resting on the back-to-back or close together games. So Eric Gordon is going to be in the starting lineup. Definitely somebody that you can play today. Then the Warriors are all the way healthy once again. Lakers really just have Anthony Davis out. I know LeBron James has that game time decision next to him, but he's had that all season. The Hawks, looks like Cam Reddish is going to miss once again. Trae Young is a questionable, and Gallinari is probable to play in this game. And then for the Heat, Bam Adebayo is probable to play once again. Tyler Hero's game time decision, again, I don't think he plays, and I'm not going to predict him in until I see it. For the Suns, Dario Saric he's a game time decision, but is probable to play in this one. So could hurt Frank Kaminsky a little bit, but not too much, honestly. Then for the Timberwolves, exactly the same as yesterday. And then we get down to Charlotte. Gordon Hayward's probable to play. Cody Zeller is questionable once again. If he doesn't play, probably see a boost up for PJ Washington once again. Maybe Bismack Biyombo this time, since the Kings have a little bit bigger team, but expect PJ Washington to get a lot of minutes in this game. And then on the Kings side, the major one that we're looking at is Tyrese Haliburton. He is out once again. Hassan Whiteside's still out, and Jabari Parker is out as well. And with that being said, that's pretty much all the injuries for today. We're going to get moved over to the DraftKings side and talk about my picks over there. So on DraftKings, point guard position, we got Ja Morant. $7,200. This feels like a pretty good price tag for him. Looking for about 36 fantasy points. He's averaging just over that on the season. Goes against the Houston matchup that should be pretty favorable for him. Don't be surprised if he ends up with 40 or more points in this game. Then on the opposite side of that same game, we're looking at Sterling Brown. $3,900. You're looking for about 19, 20 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging 18 points on the season. Like I said, there's no Victor Oladipo in this game. He should see extended run. And then even if this game ends up in a blowout, he'll get some extra minutes that way as well. So a pretty safe guy to play for his price tag. Then at small forward, we're going to go with Harrison Barnes. I played him last time, did very, very well. You guys see his price tag went up $1,000, so that's probably about where he should be priced. But no Tyrese Haliburton in this game should definitely help him out once again. $6,500, you're looking for about 33 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging about 31 on the season. Definitely should see a little bit of a boost up. I think it's a game that he can take advantage of once again. Don't be surprised if he ends up with 35 fantasy points in this one. Power forward, we got PJ Washington. Kind of talked about him a little bit. Should see some extended minutes, some minutes at the 5 position as well. You're looking for about 29, 30 points out of him, averaging 28 on the season. I think he can get you to 30 in this game pretty safely. We all know the Kings don't have a very good defense, so he's a guy that can help you out in a lot of different ways, rebounds, steals, blocks, and then if he scores any points at all, it definitely helps you out. Then last but not least, we have the center position. I'm going with Tristan Thompson. Center is not as enticing today. Everybody's priced pretty well. So he's $4,500. You're looking for 22, 23 fantasy points out of him. Should be able to do that, especially against a Wizards front court that is nothing special. And they've given up some big points to that center position in recent games. So don't be surprised if Tristan Thompson does very well in this game. I think he gets to 25 points. Pretty safe play overall today. But if you go with these 5 guys over on DraftKings, you'll have $22,000 left over, just over $7,300 per player left. So you definitely have some space to pay up for some guys and then find some value as it comes out later on in the day. Now we're going to get moved over to the FanDuel side. And over on FanDuel, point guard position, we got De'Aaron Fox, $8,000. And you're looking for 40 points out of him. It's pretty much what he's averaging on the season. And like I said, there's no Tyrese Haliburton in this game, so it should definitely help him out once again. Then at the shooting guard position, we got Terry Rozier. And he's $6,800. We're looking for 34 fantasy points out of him. Like I said, that Kings defense is nothing special at all. You see it right there, 30th ranked in the league. He's averaging 33 points on the season. He had a pretty good hot stretch there for a while. Kind of cooled off just a little bit the last 2 games, but I think this is a get-right game for him once again. He's priced down a little bit over on FanDuel, so I think it's definitely a day that you can take advantage of him. Then at small forward, we got Daniel House, and $4,500 seems like a pretty good price tag for him. You're looking for 22, 23 points out of him, averaging about 21 on the season. Should be a good matchup, should get decent minutes in this game. Pretty safe play overall. He's a guy that you could probably pivot off of if more value opens up during the day. Then at power forward, it's pretty yucky today, honestly. So I picked Jared Vanderbilt. I did play him in one of my lineups on DraftKings yesterday. He did play very well. I believe he only played 24 minutes yesterday, though, but that's my one concern with him. But it should be a matchup that he's on the court quite a bit. If this game's competitive, should have a decent run. Should definitely be able to give you that 22 points that you're looking for today. Then, kind of like power forward, center is pretty yucky, pretty well priced out on FanDuel today. So the guy that actually graded out the best for me is going to be Kelly Olynyk. $4,400. You're looking for 22 fantasy points out of him. That's what he's averaging on the season. They're going against Atlanta. He's going to be on the court probably 28, 30 minutes in this game. if he just has a decent average Kelly Olynyk game, gets you 22 to 24 points, that's definitely going to be a guy that is going to help your lineup and give you the ability to pay for higher end guys elsewhere. But overall, it's a pretty interesting day. It'll be very interesting to see what value comes out on this slate today. So just keep your eyes out for that. As always, I'll be posting the news as it does come out throughout the day. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 guys over on FanDuel, you'll have $31,900 left over, almost $8,000 per player left over. So you can definitely pay up for a lot of different guys on this slate. You can go pair De'Aaron Fox with a Russell Westbrook. That sounds pretty enticing, honestly, because they might be the 2 highest point scoring guards on this slate. LaMelo Ball is probably going to be up there as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, February 28th. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask me. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Greatly would appreciate it. It really helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, and that's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams, and covering all the different football news this off season. Definitely going to be a good one. And then as we move forward into baseball season, going to be talking a little bit of fantasy baseball and baseball news as well. So definitely want to check that out if you are a baseball fan or if you are involved in fantasy baseball as well. If you are a new or current subscriber who is yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. And with that being said, I'm posting up daily NBA videos. Just posted my bold predictions recap for the NFC North and the NFC West yesterday. So if you guys are into fantasy football, haven't checked that out already, definitely recommend checking that out, letting me know what your bold predictions were for 2020 as well. But that's pretty much all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Once again, if you have any questions regarding NBA DFS, please be sure to let me know. Definitely here to help you guys out. And as always, I will be listing the news and the starting lineups down in the comments below throughout the day as it comes out. And last but not least, just want to do a quick little shout out to you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me. And I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.